Let's take a look at the 33 most weird, strange, unique weapons in Elden Ring. Honestly, it would be pretty fun to make a build around each one of these. Starting with number 1, the Ringed Finger. A dead giant finger that has the power to flick your enemies. This creepy giant finger can be found at Gelmir Hero's grave. Number 2 is Family Heads, a flail that was designed by Necromancer Garrus. He made the heads to resemble his wife and 2 children. This weapon is dropped by Necromancer Garrus at Sage's Cave in Altus Plateau. Number 3, Blasphemous Blade. This blade was used by Rykard and is literally covered in the heroes he has slain. If you look closely, you can still see them wiggling and moving around all over the blade. This sword actually heals you when you defeat enemies and is acquired by the remembrance of Blasphemous, which you get after defeating Rykard. Number 4, Bastard Stars. This is a flail that is literally made of planets. Well, star debris, but close enough. This flail can be acquired with the remembrance of the Natural Born. Number 5, Anvil Hammer. I can't imagine a greater show of force than charging at your enemies with an anvil on a stick. It can be found at the Ruined Forge lava intake early on in the Shadows of Erdtree DLC. Now number 6, 7, and 8, I'm going to combine into one because they're the Envoy's Horn, Envoy's Longhorn, and the Envoy's Great Horn. You can go full on SpongeBob in Elden Ring and blow bubbles at your enemies. These are dropped by the Envoy enemies, which are primarily found in the Royal Capital, also in the Makella Haligtree. Number 9, the Visage Shield. This shield was designed to look like a fire giant with several tongues coming out of his mouth. Not only is this a strong shield, but it actually breathes fire. It can be found at the Caelem Ruins in Caelid. Number 10, the Shadow Sunflower Blossom. Nothing puts the enemy in their place by defeating them with a giant flower. But also cool because, of course, it's black. You can get this weapon by trading in the remembrance of the Shadow Sunflower. Number 11, the Grafted Dragon. According to the description, you're not just holding a dragon in your hand, but your arm actually turns into a small dragon. Talk about commitment. You can get this weapon by trading in the remembrance of the Grafted. Number 12 is the Giant's Red Braid. This whip is woven from the hair of a fire giant, and it can be acquired by trading in the remembrance of the fire giant. Number 13 is Nox's Flowing Sword. This weapon actually seems pretty mundane at a first glance, but it won't take long to realize this weapon is pretty strange. It actually acts more as a whip than a sword. It can be acquired at Celia, the town of sorcery. Number 14, the Cranial Vessel Candlestick. This weapon is great for those of you that want to use a great hammer, but also at the same time want to become a walking birthday cake. You can get it at the Giant Conquering Hero's grave and mountaintops of the Giants. Number 15, the Sword of Milos. This great sword is a segment of a backbone from a giant named Milos, who is actually undersized for a giant. With all the weapons on this list made from giants, I'm starting to think they should have been on a protected species list. You can get this sword by killing the Dung Eater NPC. Number 16, Giza's Wheel. This weapon is actually a pizza cutter used by fire giants in celebratory occasions. Actually, not really. It's just a torture device used by Inquisitor Giza. You can get this by killing Phantom Inquisitor Giza in the Volcano Manor. Number 17, Iron Balls. There's nothing more straightforward than smashing your enemies with big metal balls for fists. You can get them by killing Blackguard Big Bogart. Number 18 is the Jar Cannon. Who says you can't bring the heat in Elden Ring? This cannon uses great bolts for a slow, high-damage, explosive attack from a distance. You can get this cannon by defeating the demi-human queen Margot boss at the end of the Volcano Cave. Number 19 is Vera's Bouquet. Even though this looks like a regular bouquet of flowers, according to the description, it's actually made of steel. Each petal is sharpened and is forever colored with blood. It can be found at the Mogwin Dynasty Mausoleum. Number 20 is Saint Trina's Torch. This torch uses a special purple fire that actually puts enemies to sleep. I definitely want to make an entire Jigglypuff build around it. You can get this torch from a carriage in Consecrated Snowfield. Number 21 is the Jellyfish Shield. This is actually the lightest Great Shield in the game. Paired with the Envoy Horns, you can totally make an entire SpongeBob build around this. The shield can be found on a broken wagon in Liurnia of the Lakes. Number 22 is the One-Eyed Shield. This shield depicts an evil god that was once worshipped by the giants in the lands between. Not only can you use it as a regular shield, but it also shoots fireballs out of the front. You can get this shield by defeating the NPC Chief Guardian Arganthy. Number 23 on the list is the Starfist. Basically the iron balls, but now with spikes. You can find this one on a body in Leyndell, the royal capital. Number 24 is the Ant Skull Plate. This shield is the head of one of the giant ants from the underground rivers. You can get it from a chest in Noxtella Eternal City. Number 25 is the Magma Whip Candlestick. The second candle weapon on the list. It looks like a normal candlestick at first, but the flames turn into a solid whip made of fire. You can get this weapon from the Patches questline if you join the Volcano Manor. Number 26 is the Rusted Anchor, a classic strength weapon in Elden Ring because it's found early on, and the description says it came from one of the boats left behind as the Tarnished left the lands between. You can get it by defeating the scaly misbegotten boss in Morn Tunnel. Number 27 is the Wing of Estelle. This weapon is an actual wing, fused with the magic of the stars. Too bad you can't fly if you equip one in each hand. You can get this weapon from a chest in Old Palace Ruins. Number 28 on the list is the Cipher Pata. This weapon is literally glowing text, a cipher made of light. The description says no shield can repel it. It can be found at the Round Table Hold. Number 29 is the Blood Fiend Arm. So not only is this weapon obviously an actual arm from a Blood Fiend, but the description says the Blood Fiends wield these weapons and pull them from the bodies of their own families. You can get this weapon from the Blood Fiend group in Prospect Town. Number 30 is the Rib Rake. This is actually a ceremonial tool used by the dancers during the festivals in Windmill Village. The enemies that you find literally dancing around when you get there. And it's made specifically from human bone. It has a chance to drop from the dancers at Windmill Village. Number 31 is the Clinging Bone. This is the only weapon that holds you instead of you holding it. They are hardened skeletal arms that grip the player's fist. They're dropped from Encha at the Round Table Hold. Number 32 is the Golem Fists. Elden Ring's version of Hulk Hands. These rock golem fists have a ranged attack that launches the fist forward, and they have a chance to drop from the golems throwing rocks in Talos Ruin Forge. Number 33, the Coil Shield. A shield that has a bronze snake on the front that actually strikes at enemies. You can get this shield on a body located in Volcano Cave. Let me know what your favorite weapon is on the list, or if there's any that I missed that you would like to see on another video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one, and as always, good luck and have fun.